All right, these are those 5 steps, how to do your literary analysis essay. They were in your daily folders last week. I am just going to verbally walk you through them so that you can hear them if you need that. And I'm going to go kind of slow, or I'm not going to like zoom through them, so that you can stop and write these notes down should you need to, because I'm going to say some things that are not in the actual steps. Okay, so this is walking you through the steps of your literary analysis essay. Okay, step one, choose your topic. Obviously, this is beyond choosing your story. Okay, you have 4 stories to choose from. So now you've got your story. You're going to choose your topic. Your topics will be divided into the main literary elements. You can talk about characters, you can talk about themes, literary devices, the setting, or the narrative. These are your 5 topic choices you're going to begin with. Once you decide from there, pick from this list, and then we're going to narrow down your thesis from that choice. So are you going to choose one character and, analyze that one character? Are you going to say, oh, this character is the best character I've ever read about? Are you going to say, oh, here's one character and then here's another character. This character is a good character. The other character is a bad character. And, you know, decide, analyze the one character versus the other character. Are you going to talk about themes, you know, uh, good, bad, dark, light, evil, all those basic themes, fear, anything that you decide is the theme of your story that you're reading about, that's, that's what you can write about if you choose to. Remember, and I'm going to say this probably a lot, you're not wrong. If you can find the textual evidence to back up what you're talking about, you can't be wrong, right? Literary devices. And those are all the good things. Figurative language. Is there a lot of figurative language used in your story that you want to talk about? Is there onomatopoeia? Is there rhyming? I'm not necessarily. I'm just throwing some stuff out there, because those are the first things that are popping into my head. Anything. Are there literary devices? Foreshadowing. Anything that you can think of. That's in your head while you're reading the story. Oh, I want to think about that. Obviously, to choose your topic, you have to have read the story, and that's going to help you. While you read the story, think about these things. What sticks out to you? The setting, like in To Build a Fire, for example. I mean, it's set in, oh gosh, I can't think of it. It's set where it's freezing cold. It's set in snow, and everything like that, where it's crazy, and there's ice and snow and freezing, and snowshoes and everything like that. So as opposed to the Most Dangerous Game, where it's an island and there's forest or jungle like that. I don't know if you can hear my puppy crying in the background. He wants to go out, obviously, and I'm locked up in the bedroom recording. Um, so is the setting the most important thing that you want to analyze about the story? Um, the narrative, the actual narrative, the telling of the story, is that the most important thing that you want to analyze? So from there, like I'm saying, like I've already narrowed it down. Do you want to analyze one character? Do you want to analyze one character versus another character? Do you want to talk about the theme, love, hate, desire, fear, whatever it is, literary devices, the setting, or the narrative? Those are the places you're going to start from, and then you're going to narrow it down to come up with your thesis from your choice of here, okay? And those are things we're going to work on. Obviously, from number 1, you're going to go to number 2. Focus your topic. This is the step that you're going to need to brainstorm. You can do this physically, where you write stuff down, or you can do this, in your head. But you're going to need to come up with the question to answer. The question that you're going to come up with to answer is going to become your thesis statement. What is it that you want to explore about the topic that you chose? Okay? Why does that topic stand out to you? Literary analysis does not just describe the text. That's more of expository or narrative essay. Oh, I should have put a period here. Literary analysis does not summarize the story. That's a book report. Oh my goodness. The question that you come up with to answer should be a why question. Why questions make us think deeper about the literature. I'm going to move on to step 3. This was a big one, so I chunked it into 2 because it was long. Excuse me, and to put it on one slide would have been huge. Okay? We are going to gather textual evidence. So how are we going to gather textual evidence while we're reading the story if we don't know what our topic is? Well, here's what we're going to do. Obviously, we're going to have to read the story more than one time. And also, here's the part where you can't be wrong. After you ask your why question, figure out what your why question is. Then you're going to gather textual evidence that answers your very own why question. You're going to use that textual evidence to answer the question in your essay, and boom, nobody's going to tell you that you answered your own question wrong. You have the evidence to prove your question correctly. How awesome is that? You can't be wrong. Step 3 is also the most time-consuming stage of the essay writing as a whole. You have to do a close reading of the literature to gather your evidence. And it's okay to begin to research your topic before you start reading the literature you choose to for your essay. So if you already know, like as kind of a whole, you know you're going to know your story, you kind of have an initial thought, right? Because you did that. Oops, wrong way. You kind of had an initial thought, and like I said, you can always change your mind until tomorrow, Tuesday, the 8th. Okay? You can kind of plot and plan, okay, before you start reading, okay? If you use the internet, me personally, Wikipedia is not a valid academic source. However, if you find an article on Wikipedia and you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, there is a list usually down there on the bottom called references. And I just real quick, I looked up, I typed in K, and Kamala Harris was the first thing that came up. So I just used it as an example. And I scrolled down and I found list of references, and these are the things that they used to find to write the article on Wikipedia about Kamala Harris. So these are valid sites or references, that they used to write the article on Kamala Harris. These are good sites to use, and the actual Wikipedia article is not. You cannot reference the Wikipedia article. But anything from here you could click on and go to. Okay? Here's the other half. So yeah, you can click on those links and go find valid information. Do not use Wikipedia as your initial first source. The very same theory applies when you ask Mr. Google a question. Trust me, I know that he knows darn near everything because I use him a lot. I say, Mr. Google, what's the answer to this? What's about this? Why this? How about that? Don't click on links that say ad next to them. I hope you know that's advertising and they want you to click there. Go to the first link without ad, okay? Here's some ideas that you can do with your topic. There you go. Identify common themes, repetitions, patterns, categorize elements, tone, narrative style, highlight characterization, setting, foreshadowing, label character types, symbols, and metaphors. There you go. We're going to move on to step 4. Okay? Introduce evidence and analyze. In step 4, you're going to introduce your topic in 1 or 2 clear topic sentences. This is actually getting to the writing, okay? Now you have to provide evidence that supports your main topic and to convince your reader about your point of view. Okay, there are a few ways that you can add your evidence, okay? You can use a direct quote. When you are providing evidence directly from a source, don't forget to use the quotation marks so that your reader knows it's a quote and not your own words. Summarize. You can summarize a really long quote by restating it into your own words and making a shorter version. Okay? There's also ways to do that so that people know it's not your own words. You can say, the author states that blah, 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 so that you're crediting the author. Paraphrase. You can explain the evidence using your own words. Can you see and understand the difference between summarize and paraphrase? In summarize, you're still using the quote. You're just saying it in your own words. If you're paraphrasing it, you're explaining it rather than saying what the quote is. You're saying what it's about. Obviously, you see a big red box here, and a big red box usually means that something is important. Am I right? This is about academic honesty, and that's vital. If you plagiarize, that's pretty much cheating. I'm sure you know that by now, being in 11th grade. And that's using someone else's words as your own. You remember the video last week, Monday, that I made? It was a 15-minute video. This one's crouching on a 12. That pretty much said everybody needs grammar practice, right? So if you turn in a pristine essay, pristine means pretty much kind of perfect. Do you think that I'm going to believe that that's your own work? Probably not, huh? So when you begin to, crap, sorry about that. When you begin to analyze your piece of literature, that's when you really start doing the hard work, okay? You need to be able to distinguish your writing as descriptive writing that answers the who, what, where, and how questions about literature. Descriptive writing often summarizes the text. Analytical writing, however, answers the why questions. When you answer the why question, it pushes you beyond mere descriptions of the text. You get into ideas that are more convincing, argumentative, and that defend a position. That's your position. And remember, you're not wrong. The final step is your conclusion, and your strong conclusion outlines the main ideas of your whole essay. But it also works to provide a solution to the real-life problem, the problem that you presented in your thesis. You can focus on what you hope your reader gets out of your analysis or provide closure to your topic, your why question that you presented at the beginning. More importantly, you should use your conclusion as an opportunity to provide your own opinion and reflect about your own process of analyzing the text. How did you go about getting from step 1 to step 5, from the beginning to the end? How did you get there? And what did you come up with? How did you answer your own why question? What was the answer? All right? So that's step 1 through step 5 of doing your literary analysis essay. I'm going to end up making another video that tells you actually the nuts and bolts of things about your literary analysis essay, the actual what to put in the paragraphs. Okay, so that will come next. All right. Have a great day. Bye.